Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. So, not too long ago, I read an article on the root about rapper B.o.B. And the article was about him posting a video on his social media of someone from the Moorish Science Temple giving a lecture. And this person who was giving this lecture basically said that slavery did not occur in the United States. If I'm not mistaken, that's what he claimed. And also, B.o.B. was in the news not too long ago for claiming that the earth was flat, and this guy's actually raising money to prove this. And I want to take some time to talk about this. And when I saw that article, the first thing I thought about was this. I thought about how this whole Hotep movement is a disease, much like some mental sickness. I thought about how this whole Hotep movement is like an addiction, or it's like some kind of drug that these people are strung out on. And we know what drugs do to people. They cause people to lose a sense of reality. It causes them to feel like they are escaping their problems. And the same is true for any kind of mental illness or disease or something to that effect. And I'm going to explain to you why I compare Hotepism to a disease. And before I do so, I want to define, this Hotepism, at least the way I'm using it in this video. I'm not talking about just these people who are wrapped up into this Kemetic history and Kemetic science and all that kind of stuff. I'm talking about a wide group of people who are basically fake pro-blacks. That's what I'm talking about. These cultural nationalists that aren't trying to do anything to actually affect any kind of change in society. Those are the people I'm talking about. And the reason why I use terms like a disease or like a drug is because much like a disease or a drug, a disease can render somebody weak and, make them not act. Just like drugs, like when somebody is intoxicated, they want to chill. They don't want to deal with the problems of the world. And that's one of the problems with this Hotepism. It teaches apathy. First of all, they tell you not to vote. They basically devalue the right to vote, what our ancestors fought and died for. They tell you your votes don't count, that there's no need to vote. There's no need to participate in the political process. There's no need to lobby. These same people, despite all their hostility to so-called white supremacy, these same people speak out against protesting and marching and things like that. So they promote apathy. These people don't do anything constructive to bring about real change in society, except for talk and sell tickets to their events and engage in meaningless, self-aggrandizing, pointless debates. Another thing that's a problem with these Hoteps is this. These people are focused on the past instead of being focused on improving the future and the present condition of our people. These people will talk all day and night about these ancient Egyptians, all day and night about the hieroglyphics, all day and night about the Metu Neter, and engage in all these pointless, endless, retarded-ass debates about all kinds of things that really, at the end of the day, don't improve the plight of our people. They will debate about whether or not we're Hebrews, whether or not, all these things, whether or not the Metu Neter has been translated, all this other retarded shit, man. Instead of actually doing something to change our condition, instead of debating about how do we move forward as a people to improve our condition, these people, these fake-ass pro-blacks would rather spend their time debating meaningless BS instead of focusing on the present. Another point why I say these people, what they think and their philosophy is like a disease or some kind of drug, is because these people, instead of dealing with reality, they would rather deal with fantasy. They would rather deal with mythology. Like the earth is flat. Like we're indigenous people in America. Like the slave trade did not exist. This is the kind of things these idiots talk about, like aliens and spaceships and all that other foolishness. Mythology. Anybody in this modern day and age that's talking about the earth is flat is a damn idiot. I mean, you got all these scientists proving that the earth is round. You have images of the earth taken from outer space, but yet and still these idiots are debating and arguing about whether or not the earth is flat. That just tells you how irrelevant these people have become. While our people are suffering from all these real life conditions, these idiots want to debate about whether or not the earth is flat. These people want to talk about spaceships. These people want to debate whether or not we were brought here in bondage. Despite the fact that you got all these slave logs, all these slave narratives, all these ship logs, and all these documents and artifacts proving that we were enslaved in this country. You know, all these like old newspapers and other documentation of our enslavement in this country. But yet and still, these idiots want to debate whether or not we were actually enslaved, whether or not we were kidnapped. They're wrapped up in mythology. And when you're talking about mythology, that brings me to another point. These people are wrapped up into retarded, stupid-ass conspiracy theories, man. Unsubstantiated nonsense. You know, I mentioned aliens before, but that's all. These people promote this narrative of powerlessness, that there's somebody controlling everything, that there's a conspiracy behind every single thing that happens. These people, despite all their rhetoric against white supremacy, they literally believe that this white man is God, that he exercises dominion and control and power over all things, and he's all-knowing, and he's devising all kinds of plans to control every single thing. These people believe that anytime there's a mass shooting, it's a false flag. Anytime something happens with one of these celebrities, it's a clone. I mean, this stuff is idiotic. If these people were on a college campus, in a classroom talking this nonsense, they would literally be laughed out of the class. But here on YouTube, in the world of Hotepism, that's a norm. In the world of Hotepism, that's acceptable. And this just brings me to the last point. And that's about hatred. Man, a lot of these Hotep people are animated by hatred. They have become that which they preach against. You know, they preach against this white man being so racist and hateful and stuff like that, but yet they imitate him by parroting his language, by adapting his racist, stereotypical, prejudicial mentality, where they project the same kind of hatred that this white man, that these racist people project towards black people. They project it towards all white people. Not making distinctions at all, putting all white people in the same category. Downplaying white people who participate in demonstrations against police brutality, downplaying the significance of people like abolitionists and civil rights workers and all that kind of stuff so that they can paint this blanket narrative about this white man being a devil, being evil and wicked. But the thing about these Hoteps is they are fake as hell. While they preach all this stuff against this white man, they're the ones running to the white man's neighborhood to live with the white man. As you see with that guy, Brother Polite, talking all this anti-white BS. But yet here he is in Hollywood with these same white people. Here he is taking all these pictures with these white women. Then you got this other person talking all this anti-white stuff, and she's taking all these countless pictures with all these white people, living with these white people, living it up with these white people, living in a predominantly white city, but she hates the white man so much. She takes pictures with the white man. Come on, man. How does that make any kind of sense? These people are just as ignorant, just as backwards in their thinking as some of these backwoods, inbred, redneck white people. And that's just a fact, man. These people are against any kind of coalitions. Even if that coalition is beneficial to black people, these people are against it. These people and their ideology are a disease. These people and their ideology are a drug. that leaves our people intoxicated, leaves our people entertained but not empowered, leaves our people amused but not advanced. Much like how a drug will make you feel good, but at the end of the day, it doesn't change your situation.